they know that they're not going to get it. A lot of faith-based people will say, no, I just believe God's going to do it. I have faith and I have faith. And if I say I can't do it, then my faith is short. No. That's not the case. It's bigger than that. You have to turn around and let people know when you don't think you're going to accomplish it, or update them. So the communication is critical. And then it deals with character, correction, and connection. That C is a powerful tool. You have to see a thing. Okay. So then when you look at the E, it's for us to be exceptional. For us to get from the lips to the hips, we need to be exceptional people. We need to be people of our word. We need to be people that what we say matters. And when it doesn't, we need to be man and woman enough to make a change.
Oh, geez. Well, let me give you just a real quick comment on that.
Okay. You said she went crazy.
No, you know that. Hey, everybody, you know why I asked Johnnie to be on the show. She was a late addition because I had this series kind of mapped out who I was going to invite to be on. Well, Johnnie was a walk-on. I didn't even have to get the signing bonus.
Not the walk-ons.
Oh, no, not a walk-off, a walk-on. But yo, Johnnie. So you had 4 things under the C's, and you only had 3 in the A. And but I want to add one thing, and I'll do it through.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. E. You said exceptional. That is positive. That's motivational. That's gonna get us moving. Well, I'll just give a real quick simple little ditty here, just because I will. So I was at a big company banquet party 30 years ago or so, and the head guy of the organization, we had people in from all over the country that were coming for this big banquet, and I kind of got to be the MC, and so it was like a roast for the owner of the whole organization, Mr. Leary, and but I was on the executive committee, and I gave him a lot of I razzed him a lot, I guess is the right word. But anyway, so I'm talking, and I said, look, I just want to pass on something that all of you can take home. Teach your kids this. It's something of great value, and you can remember it because all 3 of these words I'm going to give you start with the letter E.
Interesting.
And then I said attitude, enthusiasm, and energy. And a vice president sitting next to him, he puts his elbow on my side and he goes, hey, Steve, attitude doesn't start with an E. And I went, what? O'Leary said it did. So I've been doing this for a long time, Johnnie. And I wish people could see the smile that you always have. It's wonderful. So, Johnnie, let's go a little deeper here before we get past the introduction and Napoleon Hill and that kind of stuff. You are just a servant. But Leffert did a book called Pathway to a Positive Mental Attitude. And it was called The 17 Steps to Success was a subtitle, Conversations with World-Class Napoleon Hill Certified Leaders. And you wrote 2 chapters in the 17 principles there. You covered in chapter 10 of that book, accurate thinking. So we'll talk about that in a minute. And then you also covered chapter 16, budgeting time and money. So what I want to say is a little bit special about you as my guest, and we're getting different perspectives. So you understand Right Thinking Foundation inside and out, what I'm trying to do. I believe that if people can eliminate stress from money in situations, that they can be better focused to deal with other things in life. And I always like Joyce Meyer, when she says those suddenlies in life, those things that we have absolutely no control over. Well, if we can get rid of the stress that's coming at us from finances, we'll be better focused to deal with all those unexpected things, job layoff, accident, injury, divorce, etc. And so I try to help people get their finances straight. And I just have my simple tools, and they've been taught throughout all these shows that I do. But the long and the short of it is, if people can use the money that you were talking about and have a good, stable life and not have stress, they can use that money for many, many good things. They can do much with that money as a tool. And so what I wanted to talk about with that aspect of it is that with your accounting background, my accounting background, we have a lot in common. But my slogan that I'd like you to respond to, I know, well, you're just getting to know me, is this. I can teach anybody about budgeting. I've been doing it for 40, 46, 7, 8 years now, maybe 50 years. Yeah, probably close to it. But if a person doesn't know their purpose, they're going to spend it on the wrong things. And so what I really do, my program's only maybe 25% about money, but I'm really trying to help people find their purpose, live their purpose. And so when I say that, I'm trying to teach people about finding their purpose and help them do that. And where do you get your purpose from? You get your purpose from the word of the Lord. Mm-hmm. So Johnnie, we share that. And that's probably the real heart of where we are. We want to help people have a better life. So, character and integrity are great components of having a good life. Because if you don't, you're not going to be trusted. You're going to fail. So with that said, I've got a line here that I wanted to quote from the Principle in Accurate Thinking. This is a sentence. Now and again, truth is truth and a lie is a lie. So we have to look at it from that perspective too. But we must make it personal and see how we're going to grow from that. Where do you want to take this?
I'm going to back up so we can go forward. Is that okay?
I love it.
You talked about knowing your purpose. One of the major things in the Napoleon Hill Foundation, and this is the reason I've read Napoleon Hill. My parents introduced me to that. They were in some multi-level marketing things, and they were doing very well, but they were feeding the people in that organization things to change their mindset. And so I was very familiar with Napoleon Hill. But I was in a C-suite executive positions, and I had been homeless before and all that good stuff. All that stuff happened to me. So I was at I'm going to call it the pinnacle at the time, because I retired from there. So the pinnacle of my career before I went into purpose. But what I told the people when I left is I retired to purpose. Because people would look at my life and they said, you're busier now. You got more stuff going on now than you had then, because I retired to purpose. I didn't retire to go home and sit down. I retired to purpose. So this is what happens with us as people, especially women, is that we can be good at so many things. We don't know what we can be great at. The only place you can find out where you can be great is to go back to the person who created you. If you're looking at anything that was created, if you want the original intent that it was created, you have to go back to not the manufacturer. You have to go back to the creator. So when you go back to the creator that created you, then you can find out why you're here. Those critical questions people have. Why am I here? Do I matter? That kind of thing. So you need to find that out. And that's what you go back to. That's why I say you're fire when you're focused. You're fire when you know the thing that you're supposed to go after. Now, let me say this. In the Bible, it talks about is that everything will work out for my good, right? It says no matter what has happened in my life, all things will work out for my good. It's hard to think that when you're in a pit. But if you know a lot about the Bible, Joseph, he didn't go straight to the palace. His brothers put him in a pit to kill him. Then he was sold, right? He went to Potiphar's house. He had some peas in his life. You hear what I'm saying? So because of that, it caused him to be an amazing ruler when he got there. So the process that people are fighting is because they don't want to say, well, I want to do this. I don't want to do that. No. Go for the best thing you know, but keep your eye on the prize. Your eye on the prize is your legacy, is your purpose, is your transformational development. It's all of that. So you have to go back to the creator. When I was younger, and I'm not 15, I'm 17. No, when I was younger, what happened is we used to take wire hangers, because I used to lock my keys up in the car, and we would unravel the wire hanger and put it through the window. Y'all not going young people may not even be familiar with this, but I could unhook the little thing to unlock the door. I abused that hanger. That was not the intent the hanger was made for. But I used it for my good. And we have to be careful in life when we have people in our life that are not enriching our life, and they're using us for their good. They're using us. And so we have to be careful when we're in abusive relationships and we don't know who we are. Fire when you're focused and knowing your purpose. When you know your purpose, everything changes. before everything happened, we were working with Hampton City Schools, actually, to go in and help the middle schoolers and the teens establish what I call discover your purpose. Part of what's happening when you deal with younger people, or even us, any age, and when you don't know your purpose, you become more distracted by everything around you. And when you're distracted, you get nothing accomplished toward the real goal in your life. So that's the key with purpose. Purpose gives you a goal, a target, the bullseye. A lot of people are hitting the big target and they're doing great things, but they're still empty because they haven't searched the word of God. They haven't went back to their creator and found out, what was I created for? What problem was I created to solve? Where do I add value? So purpose is step, I say go to the end. You know how God is Alpha and Omega. Purpose may be at the top of people's pinnacles, but it's the first thing that people need to search for and then build on that and grow.
Johnnie, you make me proud to be thinking some of the same concepts and thoughts and directional ways to go there. I just love listening to you. I mean,
you are so precious.
We told you that we were kindred spirits when we started, and we are. If y'all don't know, let us keep talking for a minute here. So, and another one of your lines is that in the chapter on budgeting, there was a beautiful line. Actually, this was on the chapter principle number 16. You said, so you need to allow. Well, I'm going to go back one sentence on that. You told a story. Let me just read this if you don't mind, because I loved it.
Please.
Put it out. Okay. So we talked about right now, you may not have any control. So it's about starting where you are and looking to see where you want to be and then building upon that. Yes, you're not going to be excellent at it the first time, but you will learn. Just like when a child tries walking and falls, but gets up and tries again and again. That child's not told, okay, you can't walk anymore because you fell. When I read that, I said, that's pretty straightforward. So you need to allow yourself to go through that failing process. Failing allows us to grow and become better. As we become better, we see the results, and the results cause us to move forward. But you need to have a definite purpose and align yourself to that purpose. Johnnie, I couldn't have said it better myself. You actually say it better. It's beautiful the way you're doing it. So Johnnie, how'd you get to be such a person of such great wisdom? It's not because you became a Napoleon Hill coach. You did that because you knew that was going to help bring out what you already feel deep inside. No. So how did you become you?
Falling. Failing forward, crawling. That stuff. A lot of times, in my life, I always saw something in other people, and I always wanted to help them get it out. So I had 52 people working for me, and I was overseas, and I controlled all the money on the base, billions of dollars, right? So we were there, and I had a team, and what I do is I would not accept mediocrity. I would not accept them being mediocre. And so I would drive them, which is not necessarily good, drive them to greatness. And so we got a lot of awards and all that. However, I haven't always been where I am today, which is, yes, I build productivity. Yes, I build profitability. However, the thing between those things is the people. You can't hurt the people. And what happened for me in my journey is I worked for a nonprofit organization, and I'll never forget what he told me. He said, I'll forgive you if you lose millions of dollars. I'll forgive you if you make, errors and all that. He said, but I will not forgive you, Johnnie, if you hurt the people. if you intentionally hurt people. And so that's why